In drought, you know that your soil can help to make it rain. Most people think that rain comes solely from the sky, but what if I told you that it actually rains from the ground up? When drought hits, most of us watch the weather forecast and hope for rain. We stare at the sky and at the radars and feel completely powerless, because we believe the weather is something that simply happens to us. But what if we have been looking in the wrong direction? What if the condition of your soil has far more influence over the water cycle than most people realize? You know, there is that old quote by Masanobu Fukuoka, famous author of the One Straw Revolution. He actually said, "It rains from the ground up." Alan Savory said something similar actually. He said that desertification is not caused by the lack of rain. The lack of rain is caused by desertification. And then there's another famous quote by Paul Harvey, which goes something like, "Despite all our accomplishments, we owe our existence to a 6-inch layer of topsoil and the fact that it rains." He's got that back to front. We owe our existence to those 6 inches of topsoil and preferably more, because this makes it rain in the first place. If we haven't met before, my name is Stephanie Hildman. I work in soil health and I'm the author of Radical Soil Care. Let me explain. The difference between dirt and soil is the presence of soil organic matter. Soil organic matter is all plant and animal material in various stages of decomposition. It is also where our soil biology lives. Bacteria, fungi and other microorganisms living below ground. They are the engine of all chemical processes in the soil. So no soil biology, no life. And without soil organic matter, no soil biology, because it has nowhere to live as it is its habitat. So no soil organic matter, no soil biology. Soil organic matter is actually a very small component of soil, ideally about 5%, more is always better. Even though it is just a small part, its water holding capacity is enormous. Conservatively, we can expect that an additional 1% of soil organic matter could reasonably hold up to 100,000 liters of water per hectare underground. To give you here a visual, I have a 30,000 liter domestic water tank at home. An additional 1% of soil organic matter would provide us with approximately 3 of those domestic water tanks per hectare extra water holding capacity underground. Mind-boggling, isn't it? So what does that have to do with our rain? So here's how it works. Soil organic matter acts like a sponge and absorbs water. Any water that hits the property, either as rain, runoff from higher ground, or even as dew, gets absorbed, stored and managed by the mycelium mat underground. Once the soil is hydrated, something almost miraculous starts to happen. The additional humidity in the soil acts like thermal mass. It stabilizes the temperature in and above the ground, leading to cooler soil in summer and warmer soil in winter. And now we're beginning to change the microclimate of the property. Increased humidity in the soil attracts more humidity above ground. So hear this again. Increased humidity in the soil attracts more humidity above ground, initially as dew, then as mist, and eventually as natural rain. That might not sound like much, but I've seen properties getting through drought on dew alone. And that's what Fukuoka meant when he said it rains from the ground up. Now, new research has confirmed what generations before us already knew. Scientists have discovered that there's a certain fungi living in healthy soil, producing tiny nucleating proteins. So these microscopic proteins can become airborne in the right conditions and eventually reach the clouds, where they help water droplets freeze into tiny ice crystals. So one of the first steps in producing rain. In other words, the soil biology living beneath our feet does actually influence what happens high above in the clouds. It adds another important piece to the puzzle, doesn't it? Reminding us how closely healthy soil and the atmosphere are actually connected. Drought isn't only about waiting for rain. It is also about rebuilding the landscape that helps bring back the rain. The more organic matter our soil contains, the more biology it supports, the better it stores water, and the more resilient your local water cycle becomes. So next time you're waiting for rain, don't just look up. Look down. Because healthy soil does not only just hold water, it helps create the conditions that bring the water back. So if you would like to understand those principles in more detail, I explain them in my book Radical Soil Care, and I put the link into the comments. Thank you so very much for watching until the end, and see you again very soon. Bye bye.